Hello and welcome back to the Dandelion Diaries. So I am going to be sharing my 2023 planner stack / planner stack update. So I didn't do a video for the beginning of the year because obviously I hadn't created this channel yet, but I wanted to kind of show you guys everything that I've been using so far for the last 4 months and what I'm going to be changing since I have some new things entering in. So starting off, when I began the year, I had 5 books, and I will say this: you do not need this many planners, books, journals, whatever. You can simply have 1 book, pen and paper, good to go. This is a hobby for me. I truly enjoy stationery products, Hobonichi specifically, astrology, pens, markers, paints, things like that. So I like to have a lot of different outlets that I can use creatively. But I'll take you from top to bottom and kind of what's going on with the original stack, and then I'll share what I'm adding in and taking away. So starting off, this is the 2023 Bunnies Hobonichi Weeks. This is the standard size. They don't have covers like this in the megas or anything like that. And I used this as my garden planner, / garden journal. I have a pretty extensive edible garden, and I definitely like to keep track of like the weather, what I'm planting, when I'm planting, things like that. So I basically use this as a way to keep track of my garden, when I'm planting stuff, temperatures, things like that. I definitely should have gotten a mega because the amount of notes pages that I used in the back is basically all of them. So I only gave myself 2 pages for each month, and I definitely needed more, and I ended up using a lot of the notes pages just as like whatever I could use them for, and next year I definitely would go with a mega if I'm gonna do this again. Moving on, I have another Hobonichi Weeks standard. This is in the fresh green cover. I've talked about this in a few videos already. This is my health planner. I hate the color of this, and I really like green, which is saying something because this is the most vibrant tropical green out there, and it's too bright. If it had been a little bit more olive or a little bit more jade color, like a little darker, I would have been super happy with it. But I have shared this in a couple of videos already, and I basically am using this as my health planner. I've been tracking like my menstrual cycle in here, any kind of exercises and steps that I do. I tracked like kind of fun memories, my weights, things like that, and I definitely really enjoyed doing this, especially having all the trackers in the back. But I don't know if I'm gonna be this specific continuing throughout the year, and I'll get to that in a minute. But this one I'm using for my health planner. This is my Hobonichi Cousin. I am a diehard Cousin fan. As you can see, it's already starting to get really chunky. Anyways, I am a diehard Hobonichi Cousin fan. This is my 2nd year in Hobonichi Cousin, and I love this book. But I have a few issues, which again I'll get to in a minute. But I've been using this as my catch-all, as my planner that I'm basically doing all of my planning in, with like dailies and everything. I've just really been enjoying the way this planner has been working for me. And I won't go too in depth because you can watch my April flip through video. I'll link it up in the cards if you're interested in like kind of what my April looked like. But I really do like this size A5, and I like that I have a whole year in 1 book between monthlies, weeklies, and dailies. But like I said, I'll get to this in a minute when we get to the update part. So the next thing that I have in my planner lineup was a journal, and I won't open this because this is very personal. This is basically just a Hobonichi A5 size journal or notebook. It's the standard yellow one that I've just put a sterling ink vellum over. But I use this thing as like a personal brain dump, personal brain drain, diary, thoughts, brainstorming processes, whatever. This is like a commonplace book for me almost, because I just put whatever and anything in it that I feel like I need to put onto paper. Like I said, I'm not going to open it or show you any spreads because it is very personal, but just know I mainly just use one fountain pen in here, and then the sterling ink date stickers, the ones that are like May 1st, 2nd, 3rd, whatever, in the washi, so it doesn't get super bulky. But yeah, I just use this as kind of like a standard notebook / journal to write down all of my thoughts and whatever's in. And the last thing that I started the year with was this Magic of I astrology planner. And I was so happy with how this was. This is such a cool planner. It has so much astrology information in it. I was overwhelmed with the amount of cool things that it has to learn about astrology, from like the moon phases to the zodiac to planting by the moon, any kind of that stuff. And I loved that it had you know, the astrology and mycology and like mushrooms, and then I loved that it had the moon tracker for the year if you wanted to track your cycle with the moon. It's just such a cool planner, and the artwork in it is absolutely gorgeous. But I mainly use this as like a goals planner because the writing space that it gives you is very small. So if you like to write a lot like I do, this planner isn't probably for you. It's very good if you just have like a few thoughts you want to write down, or if you want to track astrology and only astrology things in it. But for like multiple uses for like a main planner, I can't keep up with it. So this will bring me to my updates. So I started the year, like I said, with these 5 books over here, and I'm going to be ending the year with a common planner, another Hobonichi Weeks, my journal, and then probably just my garden planner, honestly. I'm still going to update my cousin because I'll probably keep this as my archive book, but let me kind of explain what I'm have going on over here. So I was late to the party when it came to the common planner release, and sorry, that was my cat. I was late to the party when it came to the common planner release, so I missed out on the B6 size and the dated A5 size. I will say I'm not a big fan of the B6 because I do like a lot of space to write and draw and doodle, so I'm happy that I was able to get an A5 size undated version. And if you're interested in the setup of this, I will link this one up in the cards for you guys as well. But I have basically set it up to encompass both my health planner and my cousin. So it's gonna have like all of my trackers and things, in addition to like all of my monthly planning and weekly planning and anything like that. So it's gonna be more of a catch-all than the Hobonichi Cousin is. And the reason why I wanted to get this is because of the end note pages / blank pages in the back. So this planner is exactly set up like the Hobonichi Cousin in that it has the, usually it has a year at a glance page here, and then it will have like your indexing pages or tracker pages, whatever you want to call them. So I really wanted that, and then it goes into the weeklies, and then it goes, then it goes into the monthlies, and then the weeklies, and then the daily pages. With the Cousin, the daily pages, you only get 1 page a day starting off, and then they also have quotes at the bottom that take up a chunk of the page. Some of the quotes are kind of interesting, but it's mainly just like interview quotes, and I'm not a huge fan of what they have to say most of the time, and covering them up just adds so much bulk to the bottom of the planner. and the fact that it's colored, it may not necessarily go with whatever color I'm going for that week or that month or that day or whatever. So with the Common Planner, it's basically a blank canvas, and I wanted to try it out to see how I would feel with this versus the Cousin. So far, I'm definitely leaning more towards the Common Planner, but we'll see how the book itself holds up for the rest of the year, and I'll probably do a video at the end of the year on what I end up deciding to go with for 2024. But so far, I'm really happy I added the Common Planner to my stack. The last thing I added was kind of on a whim purchase. I was looking at the Hobonichi Facebook group, and they talked about the recent release with the Yamazakura Hobonichi Weeks, which is this, and it is the botanicals. It is neutral, it is gorgeous, and I did a monthly plan with me in this for social media tracking, and that is what I'm going to be using it specifically for, just social media tracking and maybe anything related to the Dandelion Diaries as like a work planner kind of situation. And I love this. It is so pretty, and I'm trying to keep the inside as neutral as possible. I mainly have been using these sterling ink stickers, and the washi just makes it lay flat so well, and and the pencil board was part of the collection. I had to get it, but I'm really happy with this. So end of story. My 2023 planner stack started with 5 books, and it is ending with basically, hopefully, 4 books. So I'm taking one out of the stack technically. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. So I added 2 in, took 1 out, and I've been left with 4 books. I may do another update if I decide to change anything again, but I do want to say again, this is a hobby for me. I do enjoy stationery. You do not need this many books for a year, or even for multiple years, honestly, but I do enjoy this. Yeah, I will say I did also purchase the Gilded Edge notebooks from Sterling Ink, and I want to ask in the comments how you guys would feel if I set this up as like a week style bullet journal, because I'm playing with the idea of doing a week style bullet journal in this, just as a fun way to be creative and test out spreads, and especially in a smaller size like this versus a bigger like A5 journal or a B5 journal. So let me know in the comments if you'd be willing to watch a bullet journal setup in the week size Sterling Ink Tomoe River paper notebooks. Okay guys, that is all I have for this planner stacks 2023 lineup kind of video. If you're interested in more content from me, I do have an Instagram. I will leave my handle on the screen. I do post there almost every single day, and I like to share different things that I'm interested in addition to just planners and stationery and things like that. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.